What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. I'm Ace, and today's episode marks the dawn of a new era and the dawn of our new weekly One Piece series. So please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and join the council as we embark on this new voyage. Ladies and gentlemen, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody. Thank you all for joining me for today. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. If you've been following us on the pod, you probably heard me mention a few times, maybe even multiple times, how One Piece is my favorite show and how I wanted to cover it here on the podcast. So I figured, what better time to start that coverage than with the start of a new arc in the series. All right, so I did want to start us off here by talking about my plans and expectations for the series. So essentially, I want this series to be our one-stop shop for everything One Piece for the podcast. So, I'm talking the weekly episode reviews, individual arc reviews, theories, and of course, One Piece news coverage. Just in general, if it's One Piece related, minus the manga spoilers, because I am anime only. If it's One Piece related, I want to cover it here on this series. And just in general, I just want to, share my love and passion that I have for the series with you all, and hopefully get into some great conversations with other fans of the series as well. So, once again, thank you all for joining me. Let's get into this episode review. One Piece episode 1089, entering a new chapter, Luffy and Sabo's past. And I must say, I was pleasantly surprised by the new intro. I guess I shouldn't have been because it's the start of a new arc. But however, I just did not expect us to get a new intro considering how the old intro, we haven't had the old intro for that long. So I just wasn't expecting a new intro. But overall, I am loving the new intro. It's giving us a great look ahead to some of the insane fights that's going to happen later on in the series. So if you don't want to be spoiled for some of the stuff that's going to happen later on in the series, if you're anime only, then maybe you don't want to watch the intro. But if you don't care about stuff like that, then by all means. But yeah, once again, overall, love the new intro. Definitely one of my favorite scenes for the new intro is how there's a scene in the new intro where they show all the different costume designs that the crew had all throughout the years. It's definitely one of my favorite scenes and shots out of the new intro. Loving it. But yeah, moving on from there, we also with the start of this new arc, we got some brand new animation, and I must say this new animation style is a breath of fresh air. It's just it's nice, it's clean, it's really no complaints for me. It's definitely have more of a personalized and style and feel to it than the Wano had, even though I did like the Wano animation though. But One Piece always had a unique animation style to it, and I feel like with this new animation style, we getting more back to that uniqueness that we had in the previous sections of the series. But overall, fantastic animation. The new animation is fantastic. Shout out to the animators. We got some talented people working on the show right now. You guys are doing an amazing job. But speaking of personalized and and unique, our boy Emu is built different. That entire Emu sequence was fantastic. This guy's just on a different level. Like, I don't think we've seen destruction on this scale. Probably the closest thing to it is, just like a regular Buster Call. But that's not one person doing that. Or maybe if I had to compare it to something else, maybe that one move Inuel did when he was about to take out Skypiea, essentially. But even then, I don't think it was on this level like this. Like he took out an entire island. It's just crazy. On top of that, the hole that he left in the wake of his destruction, it looks very similar to the same hole that's at in this lobby. So now it makes me think, was there an island that used to be there in this lobby now? I guess you're thinking. But yeah, no, this guy Emo is on a totally different level. To think that what kind of devil fruit is this guy? But just to think that he's strong enough to obliterate a whole island from probably thousands of miles away, that from where he's located now at Marijois. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. This the final saga. If this is the final bad guy, which I'm still assuming, I was assuming Blackbeard was gonna be our final enemy. I guess we'll still see how that pans out. But this arc is already shaping up to be something crazy if this is what we starting off with right here. Another thing and another aspect that I did like about this episode though was just I love the fact that we're back traveling and voyaging on the Grand Line, returning to the Grand Line, because we were stuck in Wano for so long. It's been 4 years. I still can't believe that, but we've been stuck in Wano for so long. I just miss those interactions and times and just surviving on the Grand Line. Like those were some of my favorite aspects of the series. And then we even got the introduction of a new unnatural weather phenomenon called a big warm eddy, is what our boy Jinbei called it. A big warm eddy. Essentially just a giant mass of warm water that shot its way up from the sea. Really cool, really dangerous, I'm assuming. Thankfully our boy Zoro took care of that real swiftly, but I'm definitely more interested to find out how the hell did Bonnie get stuck in that damn thing, because one, where's your crew? Two, how are you finding there? It looked like she can have no scars or nothing, and she's in there. You would figure she would probably have some type of burns from being in that hot water, but I don't know. Who knows? I guess not. But yeah, definitely interesting to figure out how she got stuck in that warm eddy. And then one of the very last things I did want to touch up on here for this episode, they mentioned it, but we got one last road poneglyph to find. 3 down, 1 to go. We got the one from Zoe, we got the one from Big Mom, and then we just took our latest one from our latest copy from Wano, from Kaido. So we got 3. 1 down to go. As they mentioned in the show, right now nobody knows where the last road poneglyph is. So in this section, I want to talk about some of my ideas and theories on where I believe the last road poneglyph could be. So the first location where I think it possibly could be, I think it might be in Elbaf, and the reason why I say that is because Elbaf is one of the last major locations that we know about, but yet we haven't visited yet. And then also, of course, what other better place to hide a road poneglyph than a island full of giants? I think that's a great way to guard a road poneglyph. If it's not in Elbaf though, my next guess would have to be that it's on Lodestar, for the simple fact that nobody's been there since Roger been there. And that's probably the place where Roger also first even learned about the road poneglyphs. He had to learn about them somewhere, so he probably actually learned about them at Lodestar. And then now this last theory is a little bit more off the wall, but just stick with me here. So for my last theory, maybe the road poneglyph is somewhere in that lost nation or city that the Lunarians are from. We don't know too much about the Lunarians, other than, they were this powerful race that were wiped out completely. But our boy King did know about Joy Boy, so I think they gotta mean something. If he knew about Joy Boy, he has to know about the poneglyphs to some extent, I would have to believe. As well as the world government also seems to be modeling the new pacifistas after the Lunarians as well. So there's that as well. So is that whole thing. So yeah, those are my 3 ideas right now for what I think the last road poneglyph, what the last road poneglyph is either in Elbaf, Lodestar, or the place where the Lunarians are from. And ain't no telling where that is. But yeah, overall, I'm definitely excited for the new Egghead series. The Future Island is shaping up to be a great time already from the very, very first episode. Unfortunately, I was already spoiled on some of the stuff and some of the fights that we're going to get into. It is what it is, but thankfully I wasn't really spoiled on the thing I considered the most important, which is like the lore and all that stuff. So I don't, as far as lore wise, I don't really know what's going on this series. So I'm definitely looking forward to all the new crazy lore that's going to be coming out in this arc. And yeah, and so before we end it off here, I want to wrap everything up by talking about some recent One Piece news that we got, being that the One Piece Egghead art is going to start streaming on Netflix January 13th. And I just think that is very interesting. Just, continuing the collaboration that One Piece has with Netflix started with the live action, then of course the One Piece remake that got announced, and even the Monsters adaptation that's going to be coming out here recently. It's supposed to be coming coming out sometime this month. Actually, that's going to be coming out here recently. So yeah, I just think that's really cool, and it gives us give people another spot to watch One Piece as well. So next episode, 1090. Looks like we're gonna actually be getting to Future Island next episode, so definitely looking forward to that. As well as next episode, I would like to discuss and share my thoughts on the One Piece remake, as well as the Monsters anime adaptation as well. So yeah. But yeah, once again, thank you all for joining me today. That's everything that I had for today, and meet in the journey, everybody. See you next time.